Welcome, Prowl Nation. Lunchtime Detroit Lions talk coming at you. We're brought to you by Lions Nation Unite. Wow, that is a cool shirt, man. Absolutely. I really appreciate Herman Moore for giving me that shirt. And there's a lot of stuff going on. And we got some announcements maybe later. We'll see how that all goes. Anyway, today we're going to talk to you about what concerns you about this regime coming up. Is there concerns? Aaron Rodgers, there's a big vaccination status and where it stands for Green Bay. We're actually going to go into that. It is NFC North. It doesn't really affect the Lions right now, but it does affect Green Bay, and I'm going to bring it back to the Lions. So we'll see that. MCDC will be more involved in the offense, and we're going to learn more about that too. But before we get into all those fun topics, I got to kick it to my main man, the man of Steele himself, Curt Steele.
What up, dude? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And we're on that march of 3,000. We're just about there. So go ahead, if you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of Prowl Nation. That family strong, and, you know, we like you here. So come on and do that thing. Click that subscribe button. But before we get into the content for today, you know I got to bring the man into the show. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Like I called him before, he's the ladies' pet, the men's regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. My man, LL Cool Torrance. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, and good morning, Proud Nation.
Hey, let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Let go.
Get ready, Proud Nation.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. We're going to start this one off with my main man, Curt.
Well, what concerns me about this Lions team right now, going forward for the rest of the season? Okay, it's a two-word phrase. It's both of them begin with C, because you know C's my favorite letter.
Oh.
It's consistent cohesiveness. And what does that mean? Okay, this team needs to play together more often. Like, you can see spurts of it. Like, defensive side, they have it pretty well down pat, but there's also some times, especially on that back end, where they're not communicating and they're not playing together as a cohesive unit. It's more prominent on the offensive side of the ball, you know, where you have a quarterback that's may not be trusting his teammates, not be trusting his targets, not be trusting his reads. And when you get that, and you're going to get the game like we had against the Eagles, right? Where the cohesive unit, the offensive line was not a cohesive unit, gave up a ton of sacks, didn't run the ball well. So they weren't playing well together. So they play together well in spurts, but it's not all the time. So I want to see more of that cohesion on a consistent basis where they're playing together as a complete unit, all three phases of the game. And then the coaching staff as well. They don't seem to have a cohesiveness at times as well. What they're doing as a coaching staff, how they're communicating what they want the players to do on the field, how they're communicating within the coaching staff, what they want to do. You see this, and we're going to talk about later. Dan Campbell said he wants to be more involved in the office. That means that there's a cohesive breakdown somewhere within this team. And you have to have that consistency and that cohesiveness to go forward and to build a winning product. You can't have a winning product if you're not a cohesive unit on all phases of the game in the team right now. So that's my biggest concern. I want to see a more cohesive team consistently throughout the rest of the season.
Me too. I'm having a problem with my voice there, so sorry for the. It's not audio trouble. It's just me. But I want to see this team continue to fight. I didn't see a fight last time. Last game with the Eagles. I want to see them continue to fight. I don't want Dan Campbell to lose the locker room because I believe that he is a good coach. Everybody says, oh, he's not a good coach and all this other stuff. And, there's so many arguments about, is Goff good? Is it Anthony Lynn? Is it Dan Campbell? No, I got to go with LL stuff. Is it the Jimmies and Joes? And I kind of think that's a lot of it. This is we say this every time, but it's a very young team, very inexperienced. And I'm looking for them like Curt said, the cohesiveness, I like that idea, but I'm also looking for this team not to give up on their coach. I'm also looking for this team to fight. I'm also looking for this team to get a damn win, but
Right.
that's just my take. But yeah, what concerns me right now though, is that the fans, that's the secondary thing. Fans love to beat up on the guy that's down. I'm guilty of it too with Jared Goff and stuff. Cause I just saw a lot of bad stuff when I went down and saw them practice even. But you know what? People are calling for Dan Campbell's head. I mean, Brad Holmes needs to be traded, or something like this. Guys, we don't have much of a roster. I get that. And everybody makes mistakes. I don't know if it's time to give up on this roster, but I want to caution fans, because a lot of times, even though they say they don't read it, they do. And Matthew Stafford's a prime example of getting somebody out of town because a lot of the fan base just turned against him, to be quite honest.
Right.
And it's easy for us. I'm not going to say that's the only reason. So please don't start in on me about that. But I'm just saying that it does have an effect. And fans that don't show up and stuff like this, because we just need to support our team. I'm sorry. I want a winner as bad as anybody else does. But this is that concerns me. Yeah, the fans concern me.
My biggest concern with the entire thing is having too much and not doing enough with it. Like, I feel like we'll have enough draft capital and enough cap space to sign anybody and things like that. But my biggest concern is the right targets, the right players to bring in. As far as the team goes, I thought Curt was going to say it, but when he said two phrases and he said CC, I thought, oh, damn, it ain't Jared Goff. But that's like one of my biggest concerns is Jared Goff. Like, it's just we're experiencing some of the same things that we heard, or some of the same issues that we heard about in LA from both coaches, from Jeff Fisher, even though I hate Jeff Fisher, or I don't like Jeff Fisher, and from McVay. But it's some of the same things are kind of transpiring here as well. So, but other than that, I think a lot of the biggest concern that I had before was that he was going to lose the team and we go 0-17 or whatever it is, and he ended up getting fired. And, and it's just a bad look on him. I don't know him personally, but I don't want that to happen to him. But after that, especially just after seeing what Damon Harrison had to say about that, what Big Old Snacks had to say, that kind of eases all concerns that I had on that front. Just because, like I said, a guy that retired to get away from us, you know what I'm saying? He was like, all right, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? All the jokes was him. We didn't seen it before. Players, they were trades involved, and players like, I'm not going there, or I'll retire. But so a guy that had to do that to get away said things will get better and players is going to respect his coaching staff. So my biggest concern is basically bringing in the right pieces and making them work, making them fit.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a key. I agree with both you gentlemen on your points. I don't think that Dan Campbell's going to get fired. Even if we go 0-17, I think that he still has the trust of Sheila for him. I think Brad Holmes does as well. I think that, you look at what Chris Billman said during his Ring of Honor, speech. He's like, we're going to bring you a winner. We're going to bring you a winner sooner rather than later. He understands, and the fans, like, I think they get what the fans are experiencing. I just think that with the roster and then the injuries, it got worse before it got a lot worse fast before before most people thought it would. But hey, I digress. Hey, those are our concerns, you know what I'm saying? But you need the kit for your manly bits. So go over. This is our kind of, we're gonna give you our last kind of spiel for Manscaped right now. Hey, precision tools for your family jewels. Go over to manscaped.com to get the 4th generation. That's right, the 4th generation lawnmower 4.0. You can use the code DLOTP. You get 20% off, man. That's a pretty good discount, and free worldwide shipping with that code. So go over there. You got those products, the lawnmower, you got the nose hair trimming, you got the crop preserver deodorant for your undercarriage. So go ahead over to manscaped.com and go ahead and take care of your manly parts. You'll appreciate it, and she will too. So it's time for your family discussion topic for today. Jim, what you got?
Well, we gave us your concerns about this regime and everything else that's going on this season. What are your concerns? Put them down there in the comments below. And you might be featured on our comment cards for Monday. We have our live show tomorrow. One more announcement. I'm sorry about that, but the Roar at 4 is canceled for today because we have our gold members meeting today at 3:00. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. Roar at 4 Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday every week coming at you unless I get sick. Which happened yesterday.
Definitely. Hey, for more content for us, go over to DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com. We've got some good content over there. Go ahead over there and check it out. And while you're there, click on that link for LionsOnTheProwlShop.com. Get yourself some Prowl Nation gear. We got some more shirts coming out soon. So go over there and check it out. Some new kneecap body shirts have just been released recently. So go over there and check it out at LionsOnTheProwlShop.com.
Now, I got a discussion topic that's kind of off the radar, but I want to bring it back. So Aaron Rodgers' vaccination status, he is unvaccinated. He had said before he was immunized. Now, that's not the same thing as vaccinated. So he was careful with the choosing of his words.
Right.
But he should have been going under all these protocols for the NFL and all the protocols that he didn't do, because he was out doing his thing and out with everybody else and everything. So now he contracts COVID. Where does that stand for the QB? Well, he's obviously out for a while because he has COVID, and we do wish him a speedy recovery. This isn't hate, Aaron Rodgers thing, even though I dislike the quarterback and the person. But we don't like to see anybody get COVID. But here's the point. Let's remember some people from Detroit, right? How about Ndamukong Suh, right? Would he got away with all this? Heck no. we would have had draft picks taken away from us, which is a recourse by the NFL, by the way. The NFL is going to investigate. We don't know what the punishment's going to be yet. There is no punishment at this point. But if Aaron Rodgers gets the Rodgers rate on this deal, I'm going to be thoroughly pissed. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Nobody should be above the law. If it was one of our guys, they would have already been just pounding us with fines and all this, because they say that the organization is more responsible than the player. And so they're supposed to come down on them. He's supposed to be getting fined and all this stuff. To be honest with you, as egregious as this is, I think he should be suspended. I really do, because you can't sit here and say, oh, yeah, he didn't technically lie. So there's going to be a lot of people say, oh, he lied. No, he didn't technically lie. He said I was immunized. I got immunization, which does not mean I was vaccinated.
That is correct.
But when you mislead the NFL and you mislead your organization and you mislead the public, you go ahead and do whatever you want. Don't wear a mask. Don't do the things you're supposed to do. And then you contract the virus being unvaccinated. You know what? I think there should be consequences for that. He put a lot of people in danger, and I believe he should be punished. But because he's the golden boy and because it's Green Bay, I don't expect much to come out of this. It's just my thought. I could eat crow later and it could be a huge punishment. But you know what? If it was our guys, they would have been treated totally differently. Right. What are your stances on this? I know this is a loaded thing, but go ahead and give me what you think.
Now, I look at this. I don't care if he's vaccinated or not. Because the NFL has protocols, right? So the NFL set forth where the only people in the league that do not have to be vaccinated are the players. That's it, because it was collectively bargained by the union, the Players Association, right? But it's set in that agreement that the players vaccinated have these protocols and unvaccinated have these protocols. If he's not following, or he did not follow the vaccination protocols, he should be fined. He should be suspended. I don't care, like I said, because he chose not to be vaccinated. Because here's the deal. He wrote the NFL and said, I'm doing an alternate treatment for COVID, whatever. And they sent back a letter saying, no, we're not, that's not the proper protocol. You have to get vaccinated. So him saying he was immunized is crap. All right. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a misleading statement. You know what I'm saying? Saying you're immunized and you're out there. He's not wearing a mask on the sidelines because that's one of the protocols. You cannot eat with your teammates while you're out, you know what I'm saying, in the dining halls and out on the road. You cannot travel with the team out on the road. You cannot leave your hotel out on the road. You're supposed to have a mask on in all interactions, except for while you're actually in the field of play. So even the post-game interviews, post-game where they, you know, shaking hands at the end of the game, saying good game and jersey swaps and all that crap like that. He wasn't doing none of that crap, because we've seen him on national. How many times have we seen Green Bay on national TV? They're always on freaking national TV, right? And he's not doing none of that crap. So it deserves to get punished within the whole letter of the law, because right now he deserves to get punished. And if Green Bay did not force him to adhere to the COVID protocols, they deserve to get fined too. It has nothing to do to. This is not for me, it's not a political issue. It's not, well, vaccinations is wrong. I don't hear that crap. No, the NFL is a private industry and they have their own protocols, and the NFL's Players Association agreed to those protocols. And him as a player is supposed to adhere to them, and the team's supposed to enforce it. So if that is the case, and he doesn't need no discount double check, he needs to be suspended. And I'm looking at some forfeiture of games myself, because that's one of the things you look at. Now, here's my thing.
Big one.
You have Devontae Adams out. How did he contract COVID? I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers gave it to him, but it's a possibility, right? And then you have some other players that contracted COVID as well that were out for Green Bay. Who knows how they got it? And if you get contact tracing and he's the source, definitely deserve to lose some games from forfeitures. That's just the letter of the law. It's not hate for Green Bay, but those are the rules. Period. Point blank.
End of story. What do you got, LL?
Well, first thing, of course, FTP. Whatever.
I knew it.
Kick him out. Kick him out the league. Kick him out the league. Give him the harshest penalty, whatever it is. Like, make him can't play no more. Have him retire, and the Green Bay team is no longer. But that's just a joke. But so I don't. Is he? Was he vaccinated, or
he was not?
He just. I mean, I guess because he said I'm immunized, so he's not vaccinated. Like, that's. I don't know. Whatever. That was kind of crazy, I suppose. But as a guy who, in past situations, what's the word? You stretch. I don't know when to say stretch the truth, but you just avoid telling the whole truth. So, saying that, like, that's kind of funny to me.
It's a misleading statement.
Basically,
it's a misleading statement.
It's wrong, but that's funny. If they was like, "Are you vaccinated?" Well, I'm immunized. So, that you didn't even answer the question right. But I don't know, man. As far as penalties, whatever penalties that they do have in place, I would want to know more about, I guess, Aaron Rodgers' side of it. If I'm just a player in the league, just I want more information on, why he did it and how he got away with it. Of course, because the organization had to be in on it. He didn't, do it on his own. Unless, and maybe he did, because he's they're in a position that maybe they can't challenge him too much. So he or maybe he told him, I'm not getting the shot, and y'all make up whatever y'all got to make up, and we'll go from there. It's because I know they had the rip. I don't know. That's just me just offering things. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But hand down the harshest penalty for this type of situation for them. And I hope they don't win another game this season.
Yeah, because the league has already made their statement. They consider him unvaccinated because he has that 10-day quarantine. It's not like the vaccinated players where they can test out, like Saquon Barkley. He's tested positive, but as long as he tests within the next couple of days, he can test a consecutive days of as a negative. He can come back to the team because he's vaccinated. His ass, he got to do the 10-day quarantine. And if he's been doing all this stuff, hanging out with his teammates, eating with them in the chow hall, or that's what all military guys say, eating out there in the public, you know what I'm saying? We know he's been out in public. We saw the pictures of him at the Halloween party, dressed like John Wick. It's all over social media.
Yep. And the other thing about this, let's have this conversation real quick, guys. The conversation about if this was a Lions player,
yes,
what would happen to him?
Man, they would be finding Sheila Forehand would still be writing checks. Sheila Forehand would still be writing checks.
They'd forfeit his games, but they didn't need to because we're 0-8.
They'll shut down Ford Field. They'll fire Dan Campbell for us. Whatever it is, whatever
Alan
the
Parker be shut down. It'll be crazy.
Yeah, they make it look like 28 days later around there.
I'm just saying the truth. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers has a huge ego. This is the thing I don't like. This is the thing he caught it, and I'm sorry that he caught it, whatever, but he has a huge ego. He just snubbed his nose at the NFL. He just said, you know what, screw you. I'm going to do whatever I want. And because of that, I really think they should come down on him, but I don't think they will. If our guys, any one of our guys, any one of our popular players, which there aren't very many anymore, but if there was, say Calvin Johnson did this thing, way back then, and it was all a thing then, I think they would have suspended him and done all kinds of stuff to him just because he was a Lion.
Yeah.
Think about it was Calvin. Go ahead.
Taylor Decker.
Remember Taylor Decker was saying the same things in the offseason. Well, I'm not getting it, blah, blah, blah. He came to camp. He said, yes, I got vaccinated, and they just kind of left it at that. But if he would have stand pat and he would have been breaking those protocols, because you can see it's clear that Aaron Rodgers was breaking the protocols for a non-vaccinated player. It's out there. It's like you see him everywhere. Guys making commercials, guys out there, what I'm saying? Like I can't say all of his State Farm commercials were, whatever. I don't know when they were shot.
Right.
Blase. But the Halloween party and all these other things you see him out there doing, he's meeting the media. He doesn't have a mask on. That guy is just doing whatever the hell he wants to do. And I think that stuff should have comment, because if it's any other player like that in the league, man, they would be dropping a hammer for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if it was a Detroit Lion. Come on, man. You would have
real.
For real. What?
So I got this too, because we have the family discussion topic, but I'm going to add this topic as well.
Yeah.
And make it funny, make it really outrageous. What would be the penalty if a Detroit Lion player snubbed his nose at the NFL and decided to do whatever he wanted to do? Make this fun. Just give us all kinds of funny stuff to put on maybe tomorrow or Monday so that we can have them in the comments. Give us your punishment for the Detroit Lions if one of our players had done exactly what Aaron Rodgers did. So anyway,
I got one. Well, that's if it was Calvin Johnson, they would just challenge the cat.
Oh, you stupid.
Good as God.
Man, hey.
I know that was a bad
one. Okay, if you like this content, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. We need you right here. The March to 3,000 is just about there. We're getting that close, people. So go ahead and click the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And like I tell you always, it's free. If you need more free, it's free. And if you need more free than that, it's free 99 and 50 free cents. So it don't cost you one red penny. So go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And to get yourself some Lions gear. Now, I'm trying to pull out some of my older gear. I'm rocking that Salute the Service hat. This is from a few years ago. Salute the Service shirt from a few years ago as well. Go over to fanatics.com. It is Salute the Service month in the NFL. You have a range of games over the whole month. And, Veterans Day is next week. So go ahead and support your veterans by going out and getting yourself some Lions gear, Salute the Service gear over at fanatics.com. You can click the link in the description below. A portion of the proceeds from that link go to help us grow the content on this show. And all the proceeds from the Salute the Service program and that gear, Nike doesn't get a penny. The NFL doesn't get a penny. New Era doesn't get a penny. It goes all to veteran organization, nonprofits to help service members and their families of veterans. So go ahead and get yourself some Salute the Service gear. And to all my fellow veterans out there, salute, baby. All right. Now it's time for my man. You know who he is. Like I said, he's the coolest man in the crew. LL, what's your topic for today, my guy?
Well, my topic is seen some headlines saying Dan Campbell will be more involved in the offense. First thought when I seen that is, yeah, you should tell him, because most times it's like run, I feel that we should do different things, and maybe he's feeling the same thing. So so hopefully that's what it is. But just going to read a little bit of this article. This is from PrideOfDetroit.com, by the way. But it says, after Sunday's massacre at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell said he was going to spend the bye week looking at everything, seeing as nothing went right in that game. Right. I'll be crunching the tape, Campbell said on Monday morning. I'll be grinding, looking at things, go back and look at these first 8 weeks in all three phases, just to see where we can find some hidden gems, hidden nuggets, what we can do better. During his Tuesday radio appearance on 97.1 The Ticket, Stoney and Jansen and with Heather show, Campbell got a little more specific, saying he intends on getting more involved with the offense out of the bye week. Certainly, I think I can help more with the offense, Campbell said. I need to be more just involved in helping with it. It also said, later adding, I think I'm trying to be involved with everything that maybe I need a little more. I'm gonna paraphrase that. I think I'm so involved in everything that I need to be a little bit more involved in the offense. So I think so. I think just on some of the play calls, especially on short down or short yardage situations on third and fourth downs, I think his input would be much needed, and I think the results will show. On some of those fourth downs, we won't be doing some passing plays probably. On some of those third and shorts, we may run it to set up a fourth and short if that's what the plan is. So I'm anxious to see what Dan Campbell is going to bring. What about you guys?
Well, looking at that statement, excuse me. He hasn't done. He said something when he was earlier when he first got the job. He said we're going to make sure that we exploit matchups. Well, we haven't done that so far this year.
Good point.
We haven't done that so far. So I think that may be where he may be looking at getting involved and saying, "Hey, this is the matchups. This is the thing we can exploit. Let's look at how can we do that." And I think that's coming from his days down there in New Orleans and Sean Payton, where Sean Payton would always exploit matchups, and we just haven't been doing that as an offense. Anthony Lynn, he hasn't been a consistent play caller. And that goes with that cohesive consistency that I'm looking for. If we exploit matchups more frequently, we can get an upper hand. I'm not saying it's going to translate to a bunch of success, but it will help going forward and making sure that we're on a track for a more successful venture with the Lions this year.
Here's my thing. What does this say about Anthony Lynn? And then what does it say about Jared Goff? Because are we exploiting matchups that he just can't get to? Is it not enough time for him to be able to see the second or third read? We do have other matchups that we're winning, but he isn't able to get it to him. Is that Anthony Lynn's fault? But what does it also say about Dan Campbell's confidence in Anthony Lynn that he thinks he has to put, to be involved in the offense? Is this saying that, what aspect of this is broken? That's my question. And I think that's the question on a lot of fans' minds right now is it Dan Campbell, the head coach? Is it Anthony Lynn, or is it Jared Goff? Or is it the running game? When you can stack 9 people in the box because that guy can't throw over 10 yards or just, refuses to or whatever, or every time he throws deep, it's kind of a mess. People know that. It's not hard. You put a lot of people in the box, it's harder to run the football. That's just the way it is. You have to exploit that deep matchup because you got one-on-one coverage because most teams are stacking the box against us now. And who is not exploiting that? Is it Anthony Lynn with the play call? Is it Jared Goff because I don't know. Every time he throws deep, he misses the target. Who is to blame here? And I think Dan Campbell's going to look at all of that and make some decisions. I just don't think we can fix it at this point.
Yeah. And just I'm just add just one more little piece of this article here, and then I'll pass it over to my man Curt. The Lions offense has severely struggled through the first 8 weeks of the season. Right now, the Lions are averaging 16.8 points a game, good for 29th in the NFL. They haven't scored over 20 points since week 1, and they've been held scoreless in 5 different halves of football this season. They rank 28th in yards per pass attempt and 20th in yards per rush attempt. So more so what you just said, Jim, I think that maybe he wants to figure it out himself. Is it the X's and O's, or is it that Jimmy Joe golf. So, but if you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and click that like button as well. Follow us over on LNU, the Lions Nation Unite app. We're all over there, especially on Sunday. Well, not this. Well, I may be in there this Sunday, but on Sundays you catch us all over there. I'll be over there talking crazy. But Curt, what's your news and rumors topic for this week or for today? Sorry,
the Lions have, and shout out to Lions Unite. Look at that cool shirt that Jim got on, man. That thing is fresh and fly. So shout out to them for providing that gear. We're gonna get some gear ourselves. Me and my man LL, and the whole crew gonna be dripping some Lions Nation Unite gear. My news and rumors topics for today is the Lions have made some roster moves. If you haven't been under a rock for the last couple of days, you should know that Taylor Decker has been activated from the injured reserve. So has Kevin Strong. And there was one spot on the active roster that was available. So Taylor Decker filled that. And to get Kevin Strong on the roster, the Lions released backup offensive lineman Tommy Kramer. But you have to looking at the amount of players that has came back over the last few weeks, you look at it, mostly defensive linemen. Deshaun Hand has been activated from the COVID list. I mean, not COVID list, I'm sorry, injured reserve. You got Ja'Shawn Cornell activated from the suspension list. And then now you have another defensive lineman, Kevin Strong. That just builds that a real good depth on that defensive line. You're going to have to make some decisions because everybody can't be in the rotation for the game. So I think that's why you're seeing Ja'Shawn Cornell. I think he's only been active for one game since he's been back from suspension. And now you got Deshaun Hand. He came back, but he wasn't activated the last game. Of course, you're going to have some guys that's going to have to come back and get back into shape. But here's my thing. What does that bring to the roster? Of course, Taylor Decker brings the continuity of being a pretty good, one of the best left tackles in the league over the last couple of years. That pushes our rookie Penei Sewell over to the right side and takes a backup offensive lineman and puts him back down in his backup position where he needs to be. Like Matt Nelson, all I can, but he is a backup for a reason. Get Penei Sewell on that right side. Let him learn the game and get this offensive unit back into a cohesive unit with Taylor Decker leading the charge. He's a leader on the team, and I just like him being on that offensive line, protecting Jared Goff's blind side, even though it's for a 4-yard check down.
Right.
Looking at this, but going to the defensive side of the ball, like I said a few minutes ago, it just looks like we're going to have some depth pieces. I like Kevin Strong. He blows up a lot of plays. With that backups playing with him and Pennicini playing together, that is a very strong rotation for the defensive line. Going to cause a lot of heartaches and problems, people trying to run the ball. And Kevin Strong has a propensity to get after the quarterback. So I like what he brings to as a backup defensive lineman. So you look at that, we're going to get some strength back. The trenches are going to get stronger here with those individuals coming back on the defensive side of the ball. And definitely with Taylor Decker, you just can't substitute. And as well as I love Penei Sewell and how he's been playing in some big spurts as a rookie, he does have some blind spots. He does have some weaknesses, and we need to let him grow on that right side of the offensive line.
Absolutely. I love both of these guys coming back because, you kick Penei Sewell over to right tackle and replace Matt Nelson. Wow. Matt Nelson's 34 hurries or 34 pressures he's given up this year. I think that Penei Sewell for going up against the best talent in the league, now he's going to go up against probably the second best rusher on people's teams. And, it is a change and it is something that he's going to have to learn, but I think he's going to be very effective at right tackle. But he can't do much worse than Matt Nelson. And then on the other side of the ball, what this does for the Detroit Lions with this depth is that the defensive line won't get so gassed. You have so many good players that you could rotate in and out. I like the pairing of Onwuzurike and McNeil, and I like the pairing of Strong and Pennicini. And if you could rotate those guys in and out, or a combination of those guys, it also gives you a better goal line situation personnel, because Kevin Strong blows it up, and so it gives us another guy that we can put in there to strengthen that defensive line. Plus, since the offense can't do anything mostly, the defense staying on the field for so long, this will help that, I think.
Yeah. That is exactly what I'm looking forward to. The trenches, very good point, guys. The trenches, basically, if these guys actually play too, but they get some strength back. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we stood pat during the trade deadline is, we had some guys coming back. So it's like we're getting some valuable players off a trade, or however you want to put that. You can look at it that way. Just like Jim just said and Curt alluded to, I think we are much stouter against the run when Pennicini and Strong is in there. I've noticed that myself. And I like when they went to the front of Nick Williams, Pennicini, and Strong as well. But anxious to see what that's going to happen on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, if Taylor Decker does come back, we'll be able to see Penei Sewell on that right side. And I think I said it here before, but I want to see if that loosens up Hawkinson some. I know they've been having him, at least he has some kind of blocking assignment most times before he's going out this route when he's tight on the line. So if he's on the line now, maybe he won't have that responsibility with a better right tackle over there. With Matt Nelson going back to wherever he's going. And Matt Nelson hasn't looked, I'm not going to say anything nice about Matt Nelson ever again. But I think that if they wanted to use him as a swing tackle, maybe that's an extra piece. We've seen it to where they use the unstacked line or uneven line where, it's a guard on the end or a tight end on the end and they bring the tackle over on one side. So I'm looking to see maybe he's going to be a offensive line chess piece. Maybe they can use him some different ways. We've seen teams even put defensive linemen and offensive linemen back at fullback. I don't know if he'll be used like that, but he'll be used in different ways if we have our starting right tackle back. So I'm just maybe that'll bolster whatever Goff can give us. So I'm anxious to see what can happen from both of those moves.
Definitely. Hey, we've been having an issue with the link. I think there's some updates coming out, but go ahead if you want to play Curt Steele, the man of Steele, and some daily fantasy. Go over to Super Draft. We got a link in the description. Go ahead and sign up there. The link to my direct game, you can go ahead and message me down in the comments or over on Facebook or Twitter. I'm at Curtis Steele 14. That's CurtisSteele14. If you want to play against me in the daily fantasy over at Super Draft, and I will send you the direct link to my contest for this weekend. So just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? You want to get that work, hit your boy up, I get that thing to you. But now it's time for us to do what? Zip our lips. And it's time for us to talk about what you had to say about the last show. It is time for the comment cards, baby. Jim, you go first.
All right. Mark Simpson. If I were the GM, I would trade the whole coaching staff and half the team. Okay.
That
after 8 games, that makes no sense. Well, number one, Patricia and Quinn and all of them, and they left the cupboards pretty bare for this team. They stripped it down to nothing. So yeah, it looks like crap right now. I totally agree with that. Half the team is rookies or, undrafted free agents. So yep. I don't know what trade value they would have. Trading the coaching staff, that makes no sense whatsoever. We are 8 games into this build and people are disappointed. People are angry. Yeah. And I get the anger and I get the all that. And this was what I was talking about with my concerns for this team is exactly what Mark is saying. They want everybody gone already. It's been 8 games and 1 off season. Yeah, it's too soon. Got to pump the brakes on that stuff.
You cannot build a winner changing out leadership and coaches and general managers at every couple of years. You can't win like that. You can't build a winner that way.
Mike and Chris G says, I am sick and tired of the fire MCDC crowd. Honestly, I think they wanted to start the bye week a week early. Good synopsis because it looked like it.
All right. Nick Burke says, how patient do we need to be? Super patient. We have a GM known for drafting. It's going to take a few drafts. We have a coaching staff that wants to win, but a front office that's tanking. Okay, I don't see that, but okay. All right, thus Goff and the extra first round picks. If you don't think the front office is tanking, look at Nielsen. 9 pressures.
Yeah. Nelson, I think he's saying.
Nelson. Nelson. Yeah, he put an extra I in there. All right, 9 pressures and 2 sacks against the Eagles. That whole offensive line was terrible against the Eagles. And he's still starting tackle. Who are you going to replace him with? Okay. Holmes could have.
That's because of injury, so I don't understand that.
And a garbage can to compete. LOL kind of showed you what they think of Goff. Most expensive tackling dummy on the market. Not my my bad. Tackling dummy would scramble quicker. Okay.
That you might be right on.
There's a lot of things to unpack right here. I don't know if they're tanking. I don't get that. But you saying who you gonna? I mean, but who else do we have besides Nelson to come in and play right now? You're kicking. You have to go what you got, and right now that's what we got. Our swing tackle that we have from the last few years is what on injured reserve, Tyrell Crosby. So who else are you gonna put in that position? You got what you got. And also Taylor Decker's hurt, so you had to move Sewell to the other side. And our salary cap right now is trash. I mean, we got a whole bunch of dead cap space. We're going to be moving on from a lot of players next year. I mean, this roster, you think it looks different this year. Wait till next year. Yeah. Yeah, right. I think it's going to look much different next year. And to this point, I don't understand this. I've kind of brought up the idea before that they might have planned on tanking this year a little bit because I do see the roster as not being that good. But you got to remember our number 1 corner is out. Our number 1 left tackle's out. You know, we lost Jamal Williams for this game too. They're just our number 1 and number 2 receivers starting the season was Terrell Williams and Rashad Perryman, and we don't have either of those guys. Yeah, Perryman's what? He's on the Bears practice squad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's no way you can blame this debacle on tanking for sure. I don't know. I don't think the roster was that good. I think they expected to win 3 to 5 games, 5 to 7 games with the roster they brought in. But what they have now is a shell of that. I'll read Lyle's show. I've been patient since the late 50s. Lyle, for your sake and man, hopefully we get a whole lot, coming much sooner. Much sooner. I don't want to be one of those that I've been waiting since the late 90s. Bill Kowski says, in regards to Goffel, God, that's funny. During training camp and early in the season, the Lions talked about wanting guys who are competitive, tough, gritty, etc. Does Goff really fit that mold? No. But you know what? I will say this. He takes a lot of hits and he gets right back up. I mean, it's not only, and I do see a little bit of leadership from him. He just doesn't play very well. There seems to be a major gap in those intangibles with him. It feels like the offense is limited by the lack of these qualities in their QB. I hate to make the comparison, but I will. Having some fire in your belly to win. Look at Josh Allen, Stafford, Russell Wilson. Oh, he's not on their level. Yeah. I'm sorry. These guys have that fire, and you can see it on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. Just because he's not a rah-rah guy doesn't mean he can't be a leader, because I've seen leaders that are not the rah-rah, that type of thing. I do think he's gritty. I do, because he's been hit quite hard, still gets back up, and he hasn't been out for injury. He's a tough guy. Yeah. He just doesn't produce on the field, whether that's the roster, whether that's the play calling, whether that's he's just god awful. I don't know what it is, but he's just not performing well. That's all there is to it. Yeah, definitely. All right, Patience Proud Nation, to close this out, Mike and Christy again. It's unfair to judge this regime this year and next. As has been stated, we are a mass unit, and with 13 on the hour, it's 15. Well, yeah, 13 now. We got 2 guys off. Next year's draft is critical. Defense needs playmakers. This team needs its Jerry Ball, Chris Billman, Blenny Blades, defensive playmakers. That said, I will pick a wide receiver and a O-line 2, though. Okay, somewhere in that draft. Yeah, I get that. It is curious that the prove-it signings that are going to be done with careers. If you can't make the Lions, you're done. No, there is the Bears. There is hope. Yeah, there is hope. They always, saying dumpster diving at Allen Park for some players. So definitely, yeah. Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We're
I get
gonna
that.
get better. The talent pool is coming, man. We're gonna improve, but
We're going to get
gotta-
those playmakers. I totally agree with that. And you forget we lost Romeo Okwara, which is one of our biggest sack guys. I mean, people forget all these players that have gone because we want to look at those rookies. We want to look at Julian. We want to look at all those other guys, But anyway, it is a very frustrating year for us fans. I do realize that we do feel your pain, but just realize how many people are out right now and how many rookies and undrafted free agents and all this stuff is starting. So I don't know where the blame goes for all this, but it's a perfect storm in my opinion. I think that's what's going on here. But you know what? I'm looking forward to this. That's my favorite part of the show too. The dessert with my man Curt.
All right, so you know what the time it is. It's time for Dessert with your man Curt. It's brought to you by Delightful Bites Cookies. Yes. Delightful Bites has custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. The football special is still going on. You get 4 cookies that are footballs, 4 logos of your favorite team, and 4 of the helmets for $35. So go over to Delightful Bites over there and the link in the description, or you can email her at delightfulbites18@gmail.com. Now, the salute to service is going on right now, and the Lions surprised one of their members on their and their staff. His name is Mo Peterson. He is a former Army veteran, and they did him a salute to service war a nomination during the game on Sunday. He's very involved in most of the community projects that the Lions do. So go over and check it out. It's a really good video, how they surprised him with the nomination on Sunday. So his name is Mo Pearson. Go ahead and check that out. It's really, really good. Some really good content. And it's highlights of a fellow veteran for me that is very special. And it is the 4th of November, and I will be remiss if I did not say happy birthday to my oldest granddaughter, Avery Lowen Solis. She turns a huge 8 today. Papa loves you. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day. It's a very special day for you, and I love you. And again, happy birthday.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We're going to take a walk over to that Wall of Fame. And Curt, what do you got with a Wall of Fame today?
Now, you know who the first person always is. It's our DSA fellow member, my man, Detroit Drew.
Double D.
What's going on? Hey, you got Midwest Lion, the Latino Leo, Brian Stover, Bo Gagrius, Justin. Man, let's go ahead and crack one open. 10K, we got Sage Roberts, Sub Z-Trap City Boys Entertainment, Smoking Jeremy, the Iron Lung himself. Smoking Jeremy B is on that Wall of Fame. We have Crystal Wiley, Bubble Bo, John Kapler, Art Allen, the Flintstone, Jim Bo G, David Anderson, and he's the king of everything. Why? Because he's the Everything King. And don't forget to go check out Everything King and my man Jeremy over there on their platforms as well. We are Live Nation Podcast and the Everything King over there on YouTube. Service members, we have No Miss J, who has his own channel as well. So go check him out. Jason Portis, Cap Ice Cold, the Batman of the 313 is definitely shining that signal. Please help us come save this season. We got John Martin, Mr. Scotty the Bear, the Frenchman, Baguettes, and all that. And we got Gold Lions. For our Gold members, we have Mr. Reliable himself, Michael Huck, Justin the D, Pride 74, Doug Prince 72, my man who be spreading the inspirational thoughts all over the place, my man Turner C. Burley, Dominic Davis, Larry McQuiston, the F5 is in the building, the tornado is blowing through. We got Bob Korowski, Matthew Ferguson, Randall Flag 606. You know my man Matthew Ferguson is an Air Force veteran. We got Miles Gibbs, the Gridiron Blitz, former, Army veteran. You know who he is, Mr. Rough and Raw himself, North End Ken. Stay safe out there on those roadways, my brother. It's the holiday season. People drive crazy. And you know who it is, the doctor. Dr. Detroit. He is always in. To become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button down in the description.
All right, final thoughts for today. I have something really special that was sent to me by Herman Moore, and I wanted to show you guys. It's a helmet, a mini helmet, so if you could see that, and it's signed by Herman Moore. Now, it might be backwards or whatever here, but this is Oops, there it is. It's Herman Moore. It says 84 All Pro. Thank you very much to Herman Moore. I will be on his show tonight at 6 if you want to catch that. Also, it's just an honor to be with Lions Nation Unite. It's a party for Lions fans. It really is. And it could be a pity party for us Lions fans as well. Misery loves company. I'm just kidding. But please check that out. Lions Nation Unite for all Lions fans. All the content creators that you enjoy are over there. Micro Mike, Mobby. There's a bunch of them. Me, Let's Talk Lions. Detroit Lions podcast. There's just so many guys, everything King. If I miss somebody, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to do this off the top of my head. So yeah, check it out. Lions Nation Unite. Yesterday, we did not have our gold members meeting because I was ill. Today, we will be having that gold members meeting at 3 p.m. If you can make it, I'd really appreciate it. I'm sorry we had to change the day today. That also means there will be no roar for today. We will pick that back up on Monday. And one more thing, we are guaranteed not to lose this week.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. Final thoughts for today will be, of course, be kind. Have a great day. As far as the team goes, use this bye week, man. Come back and, be refreshed, be recharged, and, play hard, get a big win. And just as far as, Salute to Service Month goes, I got a couple family members that served. Shout out to my cousin Kiki, shout out to my cousin Nene. Both of them, I believe, Kiki was in the Army and Nene was in the Air Force. So shout out to both of those. Shout out to my homie Mike. Shout out to everybody that's out there, that may be fighting unjust war.
Yeah, definitely. My final thoughts for today's show is that, brighter days are going to be ahead. It's going to be a long season, but, you look at what we have right now, we're going to improve. The talent pool is going to get better. And when you get that going forward, I believe in in Brad Holmes. I believe in Dan Campbell. I believe in Chris Spillman, and I really believe in Sheila for him. So I think she's changing this thing around, and she understands the plight of the Lions fans because unlike her parents, she grew up a Lions fan. They purchased a team. She grew up a Lions fan. So there you go. All right. So I got one more.
I got one more shout out. I have to give this shout out to my dad. He was a Vietnam veteran. And I just wanted to say that on this Veterans Month, I believe anyway, that we shout out our family members, and my dad was a Vietnam veteran. So shout out to you, Dad.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be doing that as well throughout the rest of this month, because I got plenty of people in my family that definitely serve, and I'll be shouting them out throughout the rest of this month. But here's my motivational team message for the week. For the day. Okay, we can defeat failure when we're united because we're as strong as long as we're in a team. So that's what I was talking about earlier. That kind of goes with that message of one of my concerns are for the team, the consistent cohesiveness. If you do that, then you can defeat anything that you put your mind to as a cohesive team. So looking at that, it is Thursday, baby. The grind is downhill, and you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You're home with Detroit Lions news and rumors. I also got that. Gotta have that in there. But it's Thursday, baby. The grind is almost done because you know what tomorrow is. It's Friday. Then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. What tomorrow is Free for All Friday. We're gonna hang out. It's the bye week, so we just maybe talk some silly stuff on Free for All Friday and get you ready for next week. But go ahead and finish your drink, you know what I'm saying? Wipe off your mouth and get back to work, people. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do, baby. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Jim, this is Curt Steele, and I will holla at you real soon.